me here on false pretenses.
What?
And if you run this interview, I shall say you had me here on false.
I'm sorry. Which false pretenses?
Well, that this is going to be an interview about several subjects. This has been nothing but drugs.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing. You're obsessed with drugs.
This is the first topic of many.
You're obsessed with drugs.
I have read your book.
Well, you're obviously reading it with the lights off. You're not aware of anything that I've said.
I have a number
You haven't read what I've written about Portugal, which is easily found.
I've read that too.
Well, again, you've shown no signs of having done so.
I had.
You haven't put to me any of the things that I've said in what I've written about Portugal. It's now, I've been here for an hour, and we've discussed nothing but drugs.
I had planned to move on to other subjects. I'm sorry.
I don't think you're entitled to run this. I think you behaved disgracefully. Rude, incompetent, and extremely dishonest.
Well,
Run it if you like.
I suppose there's nothing more I can say here. Run it if I like.
Right, sure, right if you like. I can't stop you.
I think people would be interested to see your views.
Morally, I don't think you're entitled to run a word.
I think people would be interested to hear your
Morally,
views.
you're not entitled to run a word of it. You just aren't.
So I can post this interview word for word, and you think people
I've
will...
been lured here on false pretenses. I think you should be ashamed of yourself, ashamed enough not to run it.
I'm sorry, I just don't agree. I just don't agree that there were any false pretenses.
I know you don't.
Does
that make it better that you're not even aware of what you've done?
I'm bemused by this, honestly. I
don't doubt it.
So many episodes, we
doubt it.
We talk, we go back and forth. If there are follow-up questions, there are follow-up questions.
Don't doubt that you're bemused.
How long would have been too long to talk about drugs? Like, if we'd have moved on half an hour earlier to talk about...
Personally, 1 minute was too long to talk about drugs.
So why did
if you raised it, so I had
But before this interview, I asked...
It went on and on and on and round and round and round, and you didn't have any idea what I think. You hadn't read what I'd written, or if you had, you hadn't taken it in or understood it.
Before this interview, I asked you if we could talk about drugs. You said yes. You didn't.
Of course, I could talk about drugs. I didn't agree to an entire interview about drugs.
Mr Hitchens, I want to run this just...
You're not entitled to run it. You have no moral entitlement to run it. You brought me here on false pretenses and you behave very badly.
I don't know what
You persisted with asking me to come. I never made any trouble about coming. I changed my day to come today. I agreed to come. I came on time. I was here when requested. And then I was abused. My good nature was abused, and I don't like that.
I suppose there's nothing...
I advise you not to.
I suppose there's nothing more I can say, but I must say that this like... I have to run this. I have to.
Why?
I have to run this because like people know that I've spoken to you. They'll want the interview. Look, you seem that the reason that you seem angry at me is...
I don't like you.
Okay.
That's the reason. I really don't like you.
That's fine.
I really have decided in the past hour that I really do not like you at all.
That's fine.
I had no opinions on you before. Now I actively dislike you.
That seemed to be based on
the fact that you're a propagandist for drug legalization. Yes.
The fact that I'm somehow tricking you into...
No, you're a propagandist for drug legalization, and I regard such persons. I will sometimes, and occasions, I will be in the same room with them because it's necessary for debate, but I do not choose their company.
That I told you we'd talk about drugs.
Well, yes, but it's one of many subjects.
And the interview hadn't concluded.
Well, it has now.
Sure, but we were going to move on. Like, of course we haven't talked about other subjects.
How much time was left in an hour for the other things you were to discuss?
Well, do you remember before we started, and I have it on camera, in fact, that I said, this goes for an hour, but if the conversation flows, if the conversation goes on, it might go on for an hour and a half or 2 hours.
It absolutely did.
And you said that was fine. The plan was an hour on drugs and then an hour on God.
Oh, okay.
That was the idea. And we just didn't make it that far because you're now leaving.
Sure.
We'll see.
I'm sure all your druggy friends will think it's great, but I don't.
I think even your followers have struggled to think that I've mistreated you here. I really think that
I don't have much in the way of followers in the sense that you mean, but I don't care. I can't stop you running it. I think it would be completely wrong for you to run it, but I can't stop you. I think you behave appallingly. I never ever want to see you again.
Well, we'll have to see what everyone else thinks about that. Well,
I don't want to see you again.
okay,
I'm astonished at your behaviour. I'm genuinely astonished.
I wish you the best, and I wish you the best.
Well, I can't do that because the only thing that put me on even keel with you against you is if you apologise for what you've done.
I can't apologise for something that I don't think I've done. I don't think anybody can do
So
that.
I can't.
It would be an ingenuine apology.
What?
It would be an ingenuine apology.
Exactly, so with me anyway.
So I don't think I can apologise, and I think I have to run this interview. And
I just think you've behaved extremely
I'm
well.
sorry to say that I think that you are completely mistaken about me.
Well, you are.
And I'm sorry it's gone this way. It's a shame, but I don't think there's anything I can say here to change your mind on that front.
No, I think there is. Because you've lured me over here for an hour's conversation after all. What was in it for me?
Luring is.
What was in it for me? Why did I come?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes
You offered me an interesting conversation.
people come for all kinds of reasons.
So you bore me about your desires anyway.
Well, you have a good day.